Divine Spirit is bringing to the awareness of you all who might not be aware. When it comes to spiritual hygiene, when it comes to energetic hygiene, frequencies and vibrations, when you are in regular communication, contact, engagement, interaction with certain people of a certain frequency, vibration, and that is a reflection of and contingent upon the spiritual and energetic and internal work that they've done and their regular spiritual hygiene lifestyle, their spiritual regular routine, the things that they do regularly to keep them in a high vibration, to keep them focused, to keep them disciplined and motivated and activated. It's a difference from engaging and interacting and having connection and relationship with someone who was spiritually clean. They don't play about their spiritual hygiene. They don't play about their spiritual space, their life space, their peace of mind, their joy. They don't play about that. There's a certain requirement automatically because these are clauses in their soul contract when you choose to engage with them. There are certain requirements in place, unspoken, automatic, when people are of a certain level and value. When you choose to engage and connect and interact with them or be in relationship with them, no matter what kind of relationship. There's a certain standard that they automatically, unspokenly hold, whether you're aware of that or not. So others who don't have that same or similar standard, what can be allowed in their relationship and connection and their interaction and how you exchange energy with them and exchange time and spend time with them is going to look a whole lot different. Just because a lot of people out here have 10 fingers and 10 toes and a face and legs and don't mean we are, this spiritual walk, this spiritual experience is not a one size fit all thing. It's not a cookie cutter type of thing. So you need to be very mindful in who you choose to engage with and interact with. And you have to know, are you willing and able and capable of meeting them at that level and that standard? If not, don't even proceed. Soon as you come into knowledge and awareness, like, oh, this person lives this way, or they have this type of standard or expectation. And if you know that you cannot meet that and match that and harmonize and vibe with that, you need to see the exit. Whether you do it openly, directly, or without communication. I'm talking about soon as you see and notice that this person is of a certain level of standard and you can't play around with them or play around with their energy or go about them like you go about everybody else. But what is going to be your karmic consequence is how you choose to engage and interact with such type of person. Because the universe don't care about you not knowing the unspoken rules, the unseen rules, because this spiritual experience, there's a lot of unseen activity going on. And if you are not intuitively inclined, you won't even know what's going on. You will be clueless. Doesn't mean you can't learn and you can't develop. Are you open, receptive, and willing, and teachable, coachable? Is what you need to ask yourself. But yeah, like, you have to be aware of these things. It's like spiritual hygiene is a real thing. There are people who intermingle and entangle energies, and they get all tangled up, and there's all these energetic cords, and they're messy ass cords at that, because you have clean mixed with dirty, filthy. You know, it's like all these different personalities, mindsets, levels of discipline, levels of respect, levels of just different views on life, people, the world, money, love, relationships, family, all these different codes, creeds, beliefs, ideas, philosophies, emotions. You have to understand this, what goes into dealing with a person, engaging with a person, connecting with a person. Do y'all share the same similar principles, values, beliefs on all these different key points and components that were just mentioned? And there could be a whole list of more that I left out. That's the thing that needs to be considered. And I had to bring this to the family, because I'm still closing out a cycle from something that relates to this very thing right here. And as a spiritualist, and as someone who practices magic actively in my life, I had to perform a cord cutting ritual, because I no longer wanted to be tied to the person that I was connected to and actively and regularly engaged with. I didn't want to be connected to them, and I didn't want to be connected to everybody else that they had connected to them, because I can intuitively sense and feel and see, because I've been shown in prophetic dreams, energies and entities and activity that I can't rock with. I just can't. I just cannot. And this is no thing personal against them. They just need to come into awareness, and they need some more learning. They need some more growing and healing and transforming, evolving. I get it. But what I think they missed was, whatever their soul contracted before they came to this earthly plane, them crossing paths with me, who has the experience, the knowledge, the wherewithal, the insight, the intuitive gift, I was their wake-up call that it is time to get on course and on path. And whoever else around them was picking up whatever signals was in the air and the atmosphere, whatever, and however they chose to process those signals was on them. And whatever actions or emotions or energies that they chose to put out into the ethers and the universe is also on them. But all I know is I cannot be, and I don't advise or recommend, and I encourage others to not, when you sense and feel something is not right with a situation that is totally new to you, you don't know the ins and outs, you don't know the whole backstory, in story, out story, it would be helpful for you so you can know whether or not, okay, is it safe for me to proceed? Because anytime someone who is intuitively inclined and gifted has to get information from a higher source, from the spiritual realm, that could have been communicated in the physical 3D from the direct person that they've been involved with, that's not good. That's not good. But I do understand bigger picture seeing and saying that sometimes that's necessary just for, you know what I'm saying, however the divine need to line things up a certain type of way. But looking back in retrospect, there was a whole lot of things that could have been communicated openly, transparently, just off the principle and grounds of respect and principle, and just was right, the right thing to do. I got this going on right here, da 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 da, or whatever the situation is. Don't nobody need to know all the fine details, but there should be some details mentioned so whoever is involved in the situation can know exactly what is going on. I made a post that has been like getting so many numbers on Instagram about like situationships. It's on the topic and subject of situationships and dating and cheating and, you know, player lifestyle and just like promiscuity type lifestyle, all these different components and elements socially, you know, alchemically, socially, that happens in our society, and that is so appropriate for this topic. That post has been getting so much traction and energy and love because I took a clip from a YouTuber who was sharing a story, and I made it into a Instagram reel, and so many been engaging with it, and I was just inspired to share it because it goes right in line with what I just came out of, a cycle I just came out of dealing with this very thing. My Instagram handle is the same as my YouTube handle, Be The Alchemist. And I'm going to share something too that's also related to this. I have an auntie who's deceased now of cancer. Honor, peace, and bliss to my Aunt Vera. She passed away years ago, over 10 years ago, I believe. But at some point in her living experience, she was involved in a love triangle. I was told this story by my mother. My Aunt Vera was in a love triangle. I don't know all the details. And whatever. I don't know what decade or time it happened. I think it happened before she had my cousin. It most definitely happened before she had my cousin. So it had to happen like maybe somewhere within the late 70s. But what I know about the women in my family, my grandmother raised good girls. We might not have been perfect, but for the most part, our integrity was pretty much intact. I've never known the women in my family to sleep with married men, be HO3s, be super promiscuous, or be loud and proud about SLUT culture and lifestyle, or anything like that. Nothing against them girls. Those girls are living their life and on their timeline and here to learn the way. Those are the means and the ways that the divine, the universe, they were soulfully contract to come here and learn their life lessons in that method, going down those roads and pathways. None of my business. I wish them well. But back to my story that I'm sharing. So back to my auntie. My auntie, you know, she was seeking love and, wanting, whatever, partnership, connection, I've never, in her living life, I've never known her to have multiple men or be in and out of relationship. Like, that's the thing I'm saying. Like, the women in my family, like, we, our vision and standard and our, like, it's just different. It's just different. But anyways, yeah, so she was saying some guy. Long story short, I don't know the details. It was before I entered in this earthly physical plane as well. But look, how the story goes, there was another woman in the equation. This woman chose to use a firearm and use it against my auntie. My auntie ended up hospitalized and having bullet fragments still in her head. They took most of them out, what they could take out. My mother told me that my other aunties, okay, had to help rehabilitate my auntie so that she can regain and restore the quality of her life again. They had to teach her how to talk again. They had to teach her how to walk again. They had to teach her how to eat and feed herself. I need y'all to really digest this story and really digest this message that Divine is put on my heart and my soul to bring to you all on this day. And I'm feeling a little choked up just thinking about all of this. Because nobody deserves to be put in harm's way. I don't care if it's energetic, spiritual. I don't care if it's physical, mental, emotional, psychological. Nobody deserves to be put in harm's way. Male or female, because it can happen on either side. It's just that the story in the video was made by a woman. I'm also a woman. So yeah, there was some men that was chiming in on the Instagram comment section saying, but what about us? Yeah, that goes without saying. Use your intelligence. That goes without saying. But let's focus on the topic at hand, what's being presented at hand. And a lot of the times, us humans in our mortality, we get limited in our understanding and comprehension. We can't even hold our attention because we're constantly being bombarded with distractions and being swayed ever which way constantly on a daily in this matrix simulation. I get it. But you have to make sure you on your P's and Q's and be in control of your energy as much as you possibly can. Don't be out here getting chumped out and getting punked and getting I don't care what it is. I don't care who's doing it or inflicting it or forcing it on you. Whether it's on a large scale, on a medium scale, or a small scale. You should be able to be in your body, in your human vessel, in your human house that houses your soul. And you should be able to control your energy and your attention and where it goes. So where attention goes, energy flows, or where energy flows, attention goes, something like that, however the saying go. But yeah, this is a very serious thing. I have been experiencing spiritual warfare behind somebody I was choosing to get acquainted with, that I was connected with. My life was peaceful prior to that. Yeah, I had, regular life ebbs and flows, but I'm telling you, this experience with this individual woke me the hell up. You want to talk about spiritual awakening? I had a huge spiritual awakening dealing with this person. I'm seeing the bigger picture about it now. Looking back. And this epiphany had hit me long time ago. Either way, it's just being brought back to me as I'm sharing this with you all, family. But yeah, like it awakened the alchemist within me. It reawakened the ancient witch that was in me. Because I'm like, Spirit is telling me, my ancestors is telling, what are you going to do? Are you going to sit there and let them beat on you? Energetically. I've always been intuitive ever since I was a baby. My mom told me, like, I would roll my eyes at certain people because I could see their soul. I could see their dirty, filthy, nasty soul, and I wasn't effing with them. Like, get away from me. I don't want your attention. I'm good over here. That's the type of attitude and vibe I gave off as a baby. And even throughout my childhood developmental years, I always had this extra sensory ability about myself. I could see, I don't care if you show me a picture. I don't care if you show me some kind of media of a person. Or you tell me about them or whatever. I could instantly tell you if they're any good or not. Period. I'm a walking, talking, breathing lie detector. It's worked against me and it's also worked for me. But I'm telling you, people who don't have nothing to hide are not going to be threatened or intimidated by somebody like me. Because they not out here moving shiesty. They not out here moving shiesty. They not out here, you know what I'm saying, lying and being deceptive or being creepy and trying to hide it. They're not living in the shadows. They're not operating in the shadows. So they're not going to want me around. So maybe that's why I was getting the attacks. They didn't want me around because they didn't want me to out their ass. But regardless, if I was there to do that or not, by Divine's master bigger picture plan or not, how they been moving is how they been moving. However long they been doing it. They've been doing all their life, or if it was just a season of their life. However, when spiritual law, when divine law shows up, it doesn't matter if you try to keep the spiritual popo away or keep the law away. The law still knows and seen everything you've done and felt everything, every energy you put out into the atmosphere, the ethers, the universe, whether you actively did it, subconsciously did it, consciously did it, or intentionally did it by working energy work, alchemy, spell work, root work, voodoo, hoodoo, whatever it is that you choose to do. And if you did it with a malicious, evil intent that throws off the balance of nature or the universe, or goes against the frequency of love, balance, and justice, that's your tail. It ain't nobody's fault but yours. You made those decisions. And ignorance of the law does not care about you not knowing the rules. When I start working this energy thing, of course, I wanted to make sure I was operating within the parameters of the rules. And I still do. And I still uphold that because that's what I stand on. That's what I'm about. And I will forever walk this earth in representation of what is true and what is just and what is loving and what is fair. And I don't care who got a problem about it. Period. I am a child and daughter of the Most High. I will not be disrespected. I will not be bullied. I will not be mistreated. I don't care if it's by, I don't care who's showing up in disrespectful frequency or energy. I don't care. I will either be called to do one or two things: stand up and defend myself, or walk the F away. There's too many people on this planet to be ignorant and sleep and comatose to the truth and the reality that not everybody is the same on a spiritual level. This spiritual walk, this spiritual existence, this spiritual experience is not a one size fit all. It's not. I had to share this today. I was divinely guided and led to share this. Somebody needs to hear this because this is going to help somebody else. Or it's going to empower somebody else who is going through this to not give up and to not give in. Just because you think different, just because you look different, just because you speak different, just because you emotionally express and emotionally process different is not grounds for you to be attacked, bullied, mistreated, dogged out, disrespected on any type of a level. This mess is wild. This is wild out here. It is really wild. Earth is really ghetto. AF. With all these different energies just running around, running them up. And it's like, yo. Some of us just come here to live and enjoy and explore and adventure and learn and express and expound and thrive. But at some point or another on our journey here, we get challenged with trying to do all that. You have to be able to look and see what is distracting you from doing those things and what is encouraging you and supporting you in being able to do those things. And you'll know where to compartmentalize and where to put who and what where. If you wasn't aware before, you wasn't knowledgeable before, you wasn't educated before, it is okay. It's just a starting point. Where you start is not where you always gonna end up. But if you continue the way you've been, ignorant, sleep, dumb, and slow, of course, you're gonna continue to get got. You're gonna continue to get left. You're gonna continue to get done in, tricked, scammed, used, gained, played. You can't roam around these earthly streets with no spiritual knowledge. Just like in the physical life, you say you got those that's book smart, you got those that are, you know what I'm saying, musically smart, athletically smart, you got those that are, you know, emotionally intelligent, you got those that are, you know what I'm saying, all the different intelligences. You need to know and fall in love with all the different intelligences you have, and also strengthen and work on and increase and expand on those intelligences that you lack. it's crazy, man. Like, just the weakness that I'm seeing out here is a huge turnoff for me. And I try, as someone that was called and chosen to bring forth, these enlightening dialogues and get these conversations going, and to strike and inspire and activate the healing and transformation and growth that needs to take place within people, it could be very, very exhausting, man. But my love for humanity, and my love for just life, and my love for wanting to see people win and thrive and not be in ignorance and not be constantly done in and done wrong and taken advantage of, and like my love for wanting to be a part of their awakening and them coming into knowledge of these truths drives me more to keep going and keep bringing these messages. But yeah, fam, I'm B the Alchemist, aka Brenda the Alchemist. The alchemy of my name, Brenda, means sword. Sword is a symbol and alchemy and representation of truth. That's what I'm about. All right. That's all I have for you all. If something in this message inspires you, motivated you, encouraged you, empowered you, enlightened you to something you didn't know before, I would appreciate if you hit the like button, subscribe to my channel so this channel can grow and continue to reach more hearts and souls and minds on this planet, so that we can bring more awareness and inspire others and activate others on their healing and their growth and level up journey of becoming their best selves. Be the most healed, highest versions of you. Be your best self. Alchemize your best self. That's my line. Be the most healed, highest versions of you and alchemize your best self. Okay? For your best life. And for the new subscribers or the new visitors to my channel, I just want to say this real quick. Alchemize. I say alchemize because alchemize is in relation to alchemy. Alchemy is a scientific, energetically scientific form of transformation, of taking the form of one thing and turning it into something else. And that's what I modeled my platform name, my platform identity as, Be the Alchemist, because I've gone through a transformation and I'm here to share in that and also encourage that same thing for others to go through an internal transformation, so that we can align ourselves with the life that we envision, what the Most High showed us, what the universe showed us, what we contracted before we came here to experience and manifest for ourselves. In order to do that, you have to become a vibrational match and be aligned and in alignment with the vision and with the dream, whatever it is. Okay. Peace out. Thanks again for your love and support. Until next time, peace, love, bliss, and enlightenment. Take care.